She texted, "LOL, his proposal was so cringeworthy. Thank goodness I said no in our group chat, forgetting I was still included." I responded, "Dodged a bullet." Then I forwarded the screenshots to her mother, who had been secretly planning our wedding. The chaos erupted immediately. I, a 29-year-old man, am currently sitting in my apartment, witnessing the complete meltdown happening on my phone. My now ex-girlfriend Madison, 27, just learned a costly lesson about checking who's in your group chats before trashing them. We had been together for 4 years, and I thought our relationship was solid. Sure, Madison could be a bit demanding. She always wanted the latest iPhone and complained when we went to regular restaurants instead of the trendy spots her influencer friends promoted. But I loved her, or at least I thought I did. Last Saturday, I proposed after 3 months of planning. I saved up $8,500 for a ring. I know, but she had shown me the exact one she wanted countless times. I took her to Botanical Gardens where we had our first date, decorated with her favorite flowers. I got down on one knee by the fountain at sunset. She said yes, cried, and posted tons of photos on Instagram with hashtags like hashtag she said yes and hashtag future misses. Her mom, Diane, called me sobbing with joy. Everything seemed perfect. Then Wednesday came. I was in a group chat with Madison and her 3 best friends, Brittany, Jenna, and Kelsey. They added me about 2 years ago for planning surprise parties and such. Usually, it was quiet except for birthday planning. But Wednesday afternoon, while I was at work, my phone started blowing up. Madison wrote, "OMG, girls, I have to tell you something." Spill. "So, you know how I said yes to the proposal, right?" "Duh, we saw The Rock. It's gorgeous." "Yeah, about that. I'm giving it back." "What?" I know. But honestly, the whole thing was so cringeworthy. A public proposal at the basic Botanical Gardens? Like, what is this, 2005? My heart stopped. I literally had to sit down at my desk. But the ring is perfect. The ring is literally the only reason I said yes. LOL, I was too embarrassed to say no in front of all those people. But seriously, he could have tried harder. Derek proposed to his girlfriend on a yacht. Tyler took Amanda to Paris. And I'd get plants. Is it though? I've been dropping hints about the Four Seasons rooftop for months. He knows I wanted something that would go viral on TikTok. Instead, I got suburban mom vibes. Thank goodness I said no when he asked about setting a date yesterday. Wait, you already told him no? Not exactly. I told him I wanted a long engagement to avoid being engaged. LMAO, I'll give the ring back after the holidays. Need to milk the engagement gifts first. That's when I realized she forgot I was in this chat. I sat there for about 5 minutes just staring at my phone. For years of my life, I paid off her student loans, $23,000, and let her stay in my apartment rent-free while she built her jewelry business. She sold maybe 3 bracelets on Etsy. And this is what she truly thought of me? So I typed, "Dodged a bullet. Thanks for revealing your true colors before I made the mistake of actually marrying you." The typing indicators went wild. Then stopped, then started again. "Ryan, I'm so sorry. That's not what I meant. I was just joking with the girls. Please don't take it seriously. Ryan, answer your phone." I screenshotted everything, the entire conversation. Then I did something that might make me seem petty. But I didn't care. I forwarded all the screenshots to her mother, Diane. See, what Madison didn't know was that Diane had already put down deposits. She was so excited when we got engaged that she had immediately started planning. Diane had put $5,000 down on a venue, hired a wedding planner, and even bought her mother of the bride dress. She had been texting me all week about cake flavors and flowers. I sent Diane everything with one message. Thought you should see this before you spend any more money on the wedding. The chaos was instant. Update 1. Madison came home Wednesday night to find her things in boxes by the door. Yes, we lived together in my apartment. And her name wasn't on the lease. She was hysterical, full-on waterworks and snot bubble crying. "Baby, please." It was just girl talk. I didn't mean any of it. You called our engagement cringe and said you were keeping the ring for gifts. I was trying to sound cool. You know how Brittany is. Brittany made you say you'd milk the engagement for presents. That's not what I meant. Your mom called. She's devastated. Lost $5,000 in deposits. That's when Madison's expression switched from sadness to anger. You told my mother. Are you insane? She deserved to know before she spent more money on a fake wedding. It wasn't fake. I said yes. To avoid embarrassment. Your words. I'm not moving out. I have rights. You're a guest. 30 days notice starting today. Be out by October 15th. She grabbed her phone and called her dad. Gordon put him on speaker, thinking it would intimidate me. Ryan, what's this about kicking Madison out? She admitted she only accepted my proposal for the ring and gifts. The wedding's off. Look, women say things they don't mean sometimes. I have screenshots. Gordon, would you like to see what your daughter really thinks? Long pause. Madison, is this true? Daddy, he's overreacting. Did you or did you not say those things? It's complicated. Jesus Christ, Madison. Again. Turns out this wasn't Madison's first rodeo. Gordon let slip that she pulled similar stunts with 2 previous boyfriends. One guy she strung along for a year because he had a boat. Another she dated solely because his dad owned a restaurant where she could eat for free. Ryan, I'm sorry. Madison, get your things. You're coming home. Daddy, no. I'm not paying for another apartment while you play these games. Ryan, you get the ring back. Already have it. She left it on the nightstand Tuesday when she told me she wanted a long engagement. Madison's face went pale. She had been so confident I'd cave that she had preemptively given back the ring, probably thinking I'd beg her to take it back. Update 2. The entitlement escalated quickly. Thursday morning, I woke up to 73 Instagram notifications. Madison had posted a long story about how I was emotionally abusive and controlling. She claimed I had isolated her from friends, monitored her messages, and kicked her out for having opinions. The comments were mixed. Her influencer friends were all, yes, queen, know your worth. But people who actually knew us were confused. My buddy Jake commented, "Didn't he just propose to you?" and got blocked immediately. Then came the financial demands. Madison texted me from Brittany's phone since I blocked her. She sent a list of things she wanted. For $1,000 for emotional distress, her half of the furniture that I bought, 3 months rent for a new place, $6,000, the engagement ring since it was a gift, $2,000, and $2,100 for the MacBook I got for her business. I responded with my own list. $23,000 for student loans I paid, $18,000 for 2 years of free rent, $3,500 for the vacation to Cabo I funded, and $2,100 for the MacBook. Silence. Update 3. On Friday, Diane called me, crying but not for the reason I expected. Ryan, I'm so sorry. I'm mortified. It's not your fault. I raised her better than this. Or so I thought. Did Gordon tell you about Christopher and Paul? He mentioned something. She did the same thing, took them for everything she could, then played victim when they left. We enabled it, always making excuses. Why are you telling me this? Because she's about to do something stupid, and you should be prepared. What do you mean? She's been on the phone with her cousin, who's a paralegal. They're planning something. Sure enough, Saturday morning, I got served with papers. Madison was suing me for unlawful eviction and breach of verbal contract. She claimed we had an agreement that she could live there indefinitely in exchange for household management, and that the engagement created a financial expectation. The amount she was asking for? $50,000. $50,000. I laughed so hard the process server looked concerned. Update 4. My lawyer, who's also my cousin Tony, took one look at the lawsuit and said, "This is the dumbest thing I've seen this month. And I just had a client try to sue McDonald's for making them fat. We filed a countersuit immediately, including defamation for the Instagram posts, fraud for her admitting she accepted the proposal under false pretenses, and unjust enrichment for the loans and rent. But here's where it gets interesting. Remember how Madison mentioned Derek and Tyler? The guys whose proposals were supposedly so much better? Well, Derek's girlfriend is my coworker's sister. Small world. I reached out just to share my condolences about Madison's behavior. Turns out, Derek never proposed. The yacht story? Complete fabrication. They had been on a sunset cruise, but there was no ring. Madison had been telling everyone about this non-existent proposal to make herself look better. Tyler and Amanda? Even better. They're not even together anymore. They haven't been for 6 months. The Paris trip was Amanda going solo after she dumped Tyler for cheating. Madison had been living in a complete fantasy, making up rival proposals that didn't exist to justify her materialistic demands. I sent all this information to Tony, who added it to our filing as evidence of her pattern of deception. Monday morning, Gordon called. "Ryan, we need to talk. Can you meet me for coffee?" I agreed, curious. Gordon showed up looking exhausted. Apparently, Madison had been having daily meltdowns at home. She had maxed out 2 credit cards buying things to rebuild her life. She had been demanding they sue me, hire a PR firm to fix her image, and pay for a new apartment downtown. "Gordon, I'm cutting her off." "What?" "I've enabled this for too long. She's 27, not 17. Diane and I talked. No more bailouts." "Good for you. I have something else that might help your case." He handed me a folder. Inside were screenshots from Madison's iCloud. She was on their family plan and forgot messages between her and Brittany from before the proposal. "I need him proposed with something worth at least $10,000 or I'm out. Once I get the ring, I'll have leverage. The goal is to stretch the engagement for 2 years and save money living free. If he won't upgrade to a penthouse after the wedding, I'll leave with half." She had been planning to use me from the start. The "I love you" to talk about our future. All of it was calculated. Use this, end it. Maybe she'll finally learn. Update 5. Court happened yesterday. Madison showed up dressed like she was going to a funeral, trying to look sympathetic. Her paralegal cousin represented her, and it was obvious within 5 minutes he was in over his head. The judge reviewed everything. The text messages, the Instagram posts, the fake proposal stories, and then Gordon's evidence, the premeditated gold-digging messages. "Miss Fitzgerald, did you write these messages?" "Those were private. He had no right." "Did you write them?" "I was venting." Girl talk. "Yes or no?" "Yes." The judge then looked at the household management claim. "Can you provide evidence of this agreement? Written contract, text discussing it, anything?" "It was verbal." "He promised." "Mr. Peterson, did you make this agreement?" "No, Your Honor." She moved in after her roommate kicked her out. It was supposed to be temporary. That was 2 years ago. The judge rubbed his temples. "Miss Fitzgerald, you admitted in writing that you accepted a proposal fraudulently, planned to exploit the plaintiff financially, and created false narratives about rival proposals. You then defamed him publicly and filed a frivolous lawsuit. Countersuit granted. You owe Mr. Peterson $15,000 in damages and legal fees. The eviction stands. Case dismissed. Madison lost it. This is sexism. I'm being punished for being a woman. You're being punished for being a con artist." The bailiff had to escort her out while she screamed about discrimination and her ruined life. Final update. The aftermath has been spectacular. Madison's Instagram meltdown went semi-viral, but not in the way she wanted. Someone screen-recorded her courtroom tantrum and posted it on TikTok with the caption, "Gold Digger gets reality check." It has 1.8 million views. The comments are brutal. She really thought she did something. The entitlement is astronomical. That poor man dodged a missile. Brittany, Jenna, and Kelsey all unfollowed her after discovering she'd been lying about Derek and Tyler's proposals. Brittany actually reached out to apologize, saying she had no idea Madison was that manipulative. The best part? Madison had to move back in with her parents, but not to their nice house. See, Gordon wasn't joking about cutting her off. He gave her 2 options: get a job and pay rent, or move into the studio apartment above their garage that they had been renting out. She chose the studio, thinking it would be temporary. It's been 3 weeks. She's applied to exactly 0 jobs because she's too traumatized to work. But somehow, she's not too traumatized to post daily stories about surviving narcissistic abuse. Diane texted me yesterday. She's selling her designer bags to pay the court judgment. Reality is hitting hard. Thank you for not marrying her. Oh, and the ring? I sold it back to the jeweler for $7,200. I used $5,000 to reimburse Diane for the deposit she lost and donated the rest to a financial literacy charity. Seemed fitting. Gordon forwarded me one last thing. A text Madison sent to her mom. This is all Ryan's fault. If he'd just done a better proposal, none of this would have happened. I deserve someone who appreciates me. Still blaming everyone but herself. Some people never learn. It's been 2 months since everything went down. I figure I'd give one last update, since people keep asking. Madison's situation got worse before it got better. Well, it's still worse. After the TikTok went viral, someone found her Etsy jewelry business. Turns out, she had been drop shipping cheap items from Alibaba and marking them up 400%. The reviews were already terrible, but once people connected her to the video, they tanked completely. Her shop closed within a week. She tried to reinvent herself as a life coach, focusing on surviving toxic relationships. She created a whole website about her journey and how she could help other women escape narcissistic partners. The audacity, right? The price for her coaching? $500 per session. Number of clients? 0. Gordon called me last week with an update. Madison had finally hit rock bottom. The court judgment was due, and she couldn't pay. Her credit was destroyed. She had applied for jobs at 3 places. All rejected her after Googling her name. That TikTok video is the first thing that comes up. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Paul, one of her exes that Gordon mentioned, found the video and reached out to me. Then Christopher did too. We formed a group chat called Madison Survivors Club. Turns out she had pulled the exact same stuff with both of them. She moved in quickly, claiming an emergency, never paid rent, demanded expensive gifts, trashed her friends while plotting to get more, and played the victim when they left. Christopher still had texts from 2019 where she bragged about getting him to pay for her nose job before dumping him. Paul had screenshot of her selling gifts he'd given her while they were still together. We didn't do anything with this information. We just felt good knowing I wasn't alone or crazy. Last I heard from Diane, Madison had finally gotten a job at a call center. Minimum wage plus commission. She has to be there at 6 a.m. and can't have her phone during shifts. She lasted 3 days at the first one before quitting because it was beneath her. Gordon told her if she quit another job, she was getting evicted from the studio. She's still there as far as I know, still posting about being a survivor and a phoenix rising from the ashes, but from a flip phone because she had to sell her iPhone to make the first court payment. Brittany reached out one more time last week. Madison had texted their old group asking for loans, claiming I financially abused her and left her destitute. Brittany's response? She sent Madison the screenshots of her original messages about the proposal and blocked her. As for me, I'm doing pretty well. I started dating someone new, Kelly, from my rock climbing gym. She insisted on splitting our bill on our first date and thought the botanical garden was romantic when I mentioned it. Funny how that works. The ring money I donated helped fund a financial literacy workshop for young adults, and they invited me to speak at it. I'm considering it. I might tell them about the importance of recognizing red flags early. Madison's parents are doing better too. Diane joined a support group for parents of entitled adult children. Apparently that's a thing. Gordon sent me a bottle of expensive scotch with a note thanking me for showing them what they should have done years ago. The studio apartment above their garage? Madison decorated it with vision boards about her comeback and empire. She posts motivational quotes daily about betting on yourself and knowing your worth. The irony is completely lost on her. Someone recently commented on one of her posts. Weren't you the girl who got dumped for calling your proposal cringe? She deleted it immediately and made her account private. But my favorite update? Remember that $15,000 judgment? She's paid $3,000 so far. $12,000 to go at her current payment rate. She'll be done in about 4 years. The court adds interest monthly. Each payment hits my account with a memo line she has to fill out. The first one said temporary setback. The most recent one just said rent money. Reality really does hit differently when no one's there to cushion the fall. Looking back, that group chat mistake was the best thing that could have happened. It saved me from a lifetime of being someone's meal ticket. I could have been discovering this after a wedding and kids. Instead, I got out with my dignity, my assets, and a story that apparently resonates with many people. To everyone who messaged saying I was too harsh, she literally admitted to scamming me for years. To those who said I should have kept it private, she put me on blast first with lies. Sometimes, the only way to deal with entitled people is to let them face the consequences they've been avoiding their whole lives. Madison, if you're reading this from your studio apartment on your work break, the proposal wasn't cringe. Your character was. Dodge that bullet? More like dodge a nuclear missile.